The Sun Devils have an insane amount of depth in their running back room this year, and if they're going to win football games, they need to make sure that they lean in on those dogs.
You are Locked On Sun Devils, your daily podcast on the Arizona State Sun Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Richie Bradshaw, and I will be your guide for everything Arizona State Sun Devils. Shout out to my everydayers who are here every day, and thanks for making us your first listen of the day. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications wherever you're getting your shows. Stay in touch by following me on Twitter at RichieBrads36 and the podcast at LO_Sun Devils. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Visit FanDuel.com/locked-on to get started. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the show. My apologies for the lack of content recently. I have had a lot going on behind the scenes, mainly in the health department. We're figuring it out. We're trucking along, but we are going to have a lot of content over the next couple of days, some 2 episodes per day, pretty much for the remainder of the week to make sure that we can get through this position preview series that we tried to get started last week. And then it's game week. So we got to prepare for the Wyoming game that's coming up on Saturday. So, we got a lot to get through. So make sure that you are following along. We're going to have a good time. This is going to be a good season. But today we're here to focus on the running backs of the position preview breakdown series that we attempted to get started last week when we took a look at the offensive line. The running backs, it's a very deep room. It's a room that has several guys that you would be very confident as your starter, several guys that you would feel confident could win you football games single-handedly. This is a position group on the Sun Devils that I don't know if I would say it's unmatched, but it feels pretty darn close to it. Like, there's not very many other spots on this team that just instill the confidence the way that this running back room does. And that's where we'll start the conversation. Is there are 6 main players here, and all 6 of them could be the starter and you'd feel good about it. We start with Cameron Skattebo. Skattebo, who is a fan favorite and was somebody who basically was the offense for the Sun Devils last year. The Sun Devils went as far as Skattebo could go last year. He had right around 1,000 scrimmage yards. He ran for just under 800 yards and then caught just under 300 yards. So he was able to get it done through the ground. He got some work through the air. He passed the ball a little bit. He punted the ball. He did everything for the Sun Devils. All of the success that the Sun Devils found on offense, a lot of it came from Cameron Skattebo, if not all of it. You take Skattebo out of that offense, and I just don't know how many games you are winning with him. And keep in mind, this is with Elijah Badger, Jalen Conyers on this team. You take away Cameron Skattebo, I don't know if you're winning any more football games. You're probably losing another 1, maybe even 2 of the 3 games that you won last year because of Skattebo. So he's back. Great news for this team. You also are giving him a much better offensive line that's deeper, talented, healthier. Everything should work much better that way as well. Then you've got new play calling coming in with Marcus Arroyo. You've got hopefully consistency coming in at the quarterback spot with Sam Leavitt. There's a lot that should be able to help the offense run better this year, but Cameron Skattebo is going to be one of the biggest reasons for that kind of continuity, consistency, and efficiency from the running back position. Having him back is huge, and it should make everything else work a little bit easier for this team as well. But he's not the only one, obviously, that is going to be playing a huge role for this team. You've also got DeCarlos Brooks was returning, and Kyson Brown is returning. Those three guys were your top three running backs from last year. They all played very well when they were on the field. Brooks only played 4 games, but man, was he good in those 4 games. Like, you had such a really good thing going with him and Skattebo together and creating a little bit of thunder for you, and just pounding the rock and running the ball and putting the defense in submission with those two guys together. Phenomenal. Being able to line up DeCarlos Brooks at fullback, phenomenal. They were very creative in how they attacked opposing defenses last year when Brooks and Skattebo were on the field together. Brooks is back. Could be a really good thing this year. Kyson Brown, someone who, as a true freshman, showed a lot of really good stuff. Potentially a key contributor in the ground game for the next however many years. He is in a really deep room right now, and I don't know how easy it's going to be for him to get on the field this year, but he was good last year. No reason you can't get him involved again this year. They bring in 3 more key guys, 2 through the transfer portal, 1 as a true freshman. Alton McCaskill coming in from Colorado. Didn't do much there. He's more known from his time at Houston previously, where he was an AAC Newcomer of the Year back in 2021. He's really shown off a lot of potential now that he is perceivably 100% healthy down in Tempe. And I've heard a lot of good things about him. And if he is able to get back to where he was as a freshman at Houston, I have been told by people that I trust that, like, hey, this guy might be the most talented running back on the team. This might be the most pro-ready running back. There's a lot of upside here with McCaskill, and it would not be surprised if he ended up being the number 2 running back at some point during the year. I wouldn't be surprised, based off of everything I've heard, if by the end of the year he is your number 1 running back, just because that's how highly regarded he is. You've got Raleek Brown, who unfortunately has not been able to get to 100% healthy and ready to go for the season. When he does finally get on the field, this is a former super high 4-star / 5-star recruit, someone who is destined to become a baller for this team. Once he is able to get onto the field, it's just a matter of getting to that point. And then the last guy is 4-star running back Jason Brown coming in, the prized possession of this recruiting class. Jason Brown, he's your 6th running back right now. That's so good for you, man. Having someone that is arguably the most important player from your recruiting class come in and basically staring down the barrel of a redshirt season, and in a good way. Like, it's not like you're placing him in a situation where you have to redshirt him. You can redshirt him because of the depth, because of the talent that you have ahead of him. Now, if you got him on the field, oh no, not Jason Brown, a 4-star recruit and the number 3 recruit out of Washington State. Like, this is a really good situation for him to come into, to be able to learn, grow into his body, and get ready for the next step in his football career. ASU, they just have to love having another body to this room. And it is, in my opinion, probably the strongest room on the team. There are some really good deep positions for the team. There's safety, there's offensive line, and then there's running back. And running back has 6 guys who could all be your starter, and you'd feel good about it. You could plug in Kyson Brown as your starter, and you'd go, you know what? He looked good last year. He's a big dude. He runs guys over. He's someone that I feel confident in making my number 1 guy. You'd feel good about that. Alton McCaskill. He's healthy. He's a good pass catcher. He has a nose for the end zone. You feel good about him being your running back one. Cameron Skattebo, we already know. You feel good about him being your running back one. Any of these 6 guys perceivably could be your starting running back, and you'd feel good about it. That's something truly special about this running back room, is having that kind of depth to know that we could give it to any of these guys and we'd be able to run our offense efficiently. Now, some guys more talented than others, sure, of course. But in theory, to say we could go from a last year player in Cameron Skattebo going into his senior year, or we could go with a true freshman in Jason Brown, and either way, feel the confidence that we can still execute however we want to execute. That's a big deal. For an offense that wants to be really, really pro style, and I imagine is going to have a lot of run-heavy tendencies, this is a great problem for ASU to have. You wouldn't even call it a problem. It's just a great situation for ASU to have. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at a potential depth chart for this running back room here in just one moment. We'll hop into it right now. This is the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. If you're tired after lunch, you're not alone. In fact, research shows that 70% of us are going to hit a wall after lunch, so let a 5-hour energy shot help you leap over that wall instead of crashing into it. With 0 sugar and a convenient portable size, it's the perfect pick-me-up for getting stuff done. The 5-Hour Energy website has flavors galore like watermelon, tropical burst, grape, berry, and more. There's a flavor for everyone, so try them all. On the site, you even have the option to build your own 12-pack or 24-pack. You pick the flavors, and it's delivered right to your door. If you go to 5hourenergy.com, and that's the number 5hourenergy.com, and get some 5-Hour Energy product today, you can use my promo code LOCKEDONCFB for 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with any other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. Go to 5hourenergy.com today and use the promo code LOCKEDONCFB for 20% off of your order. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and making us your first listen of the day. A shout out to my everydayers who are here every day. Wherever you get your shows, hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube yet, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and help us get to 1,000 subscribers so we can find a way to celebrate together as a channel. Back into our conversation, taking a look, at a potential depth chart. Now, this is a interesting conversation, and the reason why I call it interesting is there's injuries that you have to factor in, and I don't like factoring in injuries, but it's literally going to shake up what we know about this. And to be transparent, it's affecting Raleek Brown. Raleek Brown, in my opinion, is as talented, if not the most talented running back in the room right now. There's a reason why he was such a huge get for the program in the transfer portal. He was a widely, highly touted recruit coming out of high school. He looks like he's ready for the next level when he is able to polish off all of his skill sets. In terms of pure athleticism, upside, all of that, he's got it. The problem is he's not 100% healthy. And because of that, he's lower on the depth chart than he would be. Now, if everyone were 100% healthy, I think Raleek would be no worse than RB3, potentially RB2 on this team. But as of right now, as we go through this, he is RB5 for me. And it has nothing to do with the talent. It's simply the fact that he's just not ready to play yet. And even if he does suit up for Wyoming, and I don't think he's supposed to suit up for a handful of weeks, he's still probably not going to be 100% at the capacity that we believe that he can eventually get to. Now, that being said, RB1, until further notice, it's Cameron Skattebo. This is the guy. This is, as the Locked on Sun Devils podcast has dubbed him, the people's running back. He does everything for you. He runs it, he catches it, he passes, he punts, he steals your heart. He is a beast. You put the ball in his hands, you let him create with it, whether it's a straight carry or if it's pass out of the backfield. Whatever it is, you put the ball in his hands and you let him figure it out. You have a guy like Skattebo that is so creative and crafty and explosive once the ball gets into his hands. Everything opens up as soon as he is, what's the word? As soon as he is able to get going, everything else in the offense is going to open up for you. He starts running well, the passing attack is going to work. He starts running well, the other running backs behind him are going to find ample opportunities to face tired defenses or anything else that you can come up with. There's a lot here that goes right for the Sun Devils when Cameron Skattebo is running right. Running back 2, this is really tough. And as of now, I'm going to go with DeCarlos Brooks, who was RB2 for the team last year when he was healthy. I think that's probably the way it stays for now. But Alton McCaskill at running back 3 for me, would not be surprised if he was RB2. Again, I've been told a lot of really glowing things about Alton McCaskill. He's looked good when I've been able to see him in action. I've heard nothing but great things about him. You look at what he's done previously when he was healthy at Houston. It's going to be difficult to keep this kid off the field. But I am going to go with the guy who's been here for a year, is already got a connection with the, oh my goodness, with the room, with the offense, with the coaching staff. There's already some established chemistry there. I give him the benefit of the doubt until further notice. McCaskill is going to be right on his tail. You could be like an AB situation here, sorry. He's not that far behind Brooks, Alt McCaskill, that is. I'm just giving Brooks the edge until further notice. RB4, Kyson Brown. Kyson is getting the benefit of having Raleek Brown injured for the moment, but this is also a very good running back. I mentioned earlier when we were talking about the guys individually, Kyson Brown is someone that I think could be a huge key fixture of this running game for the next handful of years, however long he decides to stay in Tempe. This is a beast. This is a really good football player. Having him as RB4 on your team and what normally would be RB5 with a healthy Raleek Brown, that's a great problem to have. RB5, like I said, Raleek Brown, mainly due to the injury situation. I could see him as high as RB2 when he is 100% healthy. And then RB6, Jason Brown. It's just that he's a freshman and it's a talented room ahead of him. Most years he could start, you'd be totally good with it. He could start this year and you'd be good with it. It's just a situation that ASU has where you don't feel the need to throw a freshman out to the wolves. You can allow him to learn behind the scenes, get comfortable, pick up the speed of Power 4 football level. This is a great situation for Jason Brown to be in. Now, one little thing I did want to throw out is the fullback position. I feel like ASU may see a little bit of an opportunity to do what they did last year and have a what's the word I'm trying to use? I can't think of what I'm trying to use. The versatility essentially of being able to throw like DeCarlos Brooks in as a fullback again, like they did last year. I could see that. I don't know how much I would anticipate that to be the case and happen this year. But you could see ASU flirt with that 2 running back set and having DeCarlos Brooks or Alton McCaskill or even Cameron Skattebo lining up at fullback and having somebody else behind them. Possibility is there. I wouldn't keep anything out of the realm of possibilities for Kenny Dillingham in this offense. We're going to wrap up with some bold predictions about this running back room to close out this episode. We'll hop into it in just one moment. This is the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Hey, Locked On college football fans. I want to give you a moment. I want to give you a heads up about this brand new mobile game, and I think you're going to love it as much as I do. It's Ultimate College Football Head Coach. In this amazing game and simulation, you get to step into the shoes of a head coach and lead your favorite college football program to glory. Can you actually imagine being the head coach of Arizona State University, from recruiting players and hiring coaching staff to overseeing training camps and handling school scholarships? You control every crucial detail of your program. It's all in your hands. Will you be able to handle the pressure? And here's what I really love about the game. You are responsible for calling offensive plays during the game, so your strategy not only determines the success of your football season, but will shape the future and the legacy of your program. Ultimate College Football Head Coach is completely free, no ads, and 100% playable offline. So you can play on the go and as you want and when you want to. And of course, we have a special offer for you here from Locked On Sun Devils. Use the code LOCKEDONCFB, all caps, inside the game store and receive a free boost to your program. Make sure to take advantage of this perk as it will get your team off to a strong start. To download the game, visit ultimate-cfb.com or look it up on the App Store. Ultimate College Football Head Coach. Begin your coaching legacy today. Also want to talk to you about our friends over at Ibotta. It's summertime and it's barbecue season. Stock up on all your grilling favorites and earn cash back on every purchase you use with Ibotta, so you won't have to choose between burgers or hot dogs. You can get both. Ibotta is a free app that lets you earn cash back every time you shop. Earn on hundreds of items from groceries to beauty supplies, even toys, so you can make beating inflation matter. It doesn't matter what you're purchasing because you're going to make it matter. The average Ibotta user makes $256 a year. That could be the cost of an entire shopping trip, or that flight that you've been eyeing, or a fancy dinner that you've been craving. Other apps give you points that don't amount to much. With Ibotta, you earn cash back that you can withdraw to your bank account, PayPal, or gift cards. Simply add offers in the app, upload your receipt, and Viola, the money is yours. You can save on over 2,400 brands and shop at over 1,000 retailers, including your favorite grocery stores, Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora, Best Buy, and more. It's time you join the over 50 million users who use Ibotta and earn cash back every time they shop. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying the app, and use the code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE when you register. Go to the App Store or Google Play Store and download the free Ibotta app and start earning cash back and use code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE. That's Ibotta, IBOTTA, in the Google App Store, the regular App Store, and use the code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE. One more time, wherever you get your shows, hit like, hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you get an update whenever we post new content. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and making us your first listen of the day. Shout out to my everydayers who are here every day. Let's go ahead and wrap up our conversation now and take a look at some bold predictions for these running backs. I got 4 bold predictions here. We'll start with Cameron Skattebo, who I am going out on a limb and saying not only is he getting to 1,000 rushing yards this year, he is doing it on less than 250 carries. So over five yards a carry is going to be my prediction, or darn near close to it. He is going to be right at 5 yards a carry. Last year, he was 4.8. he ran for 783 yards on 164 carries. I would imagine it's going to be somewhere in that ballpark again. I think he's going to be close to 200 carries, but this is also an offense that's just got so many different guys that you don't need to lean on Cameron Skattebo. So unless he's having a Heisman Trophy campaign, you don't need to give him 200, 250 carries and feel like you're getting the most out of him. You could give him 164 carries again this year, and he's going to be able to put in some really good numbers for you. He's a beast. I'm definitely thinking he's getting to 1,000 rushing yards this year. I also think that he's going to do it at such a high efficiency rate that ASU is going to be able to keep him fresh and is going to be able to keep the rest of the offense nice and potent as well. Teams aren't going to be able to just key in on Cameron Skattebo because all of a sudden Alton McCaskill is coming out. And now McCaskill is running for 5 or 6 straight plays and making Skattebo fresh off the bench. And then Skattebo comes back out and then boom, it's just rinse and repeat with running the ball with him or McCaskill or Brooks or whoever else. Having the freshness in the backfield is going to be able to allow all of these running backs to perform at such a high efficiency level that you're going to get some great stats out of it. And I think that Skattebo is going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries of this. He's running for 1,000 yards this year. It's going to be on under 250 carries. I would not be surprised if it was on right around 200 carries because I think that 5 yards a carry is right in his ballpark. Second bold prediction, ASU last year had 17 rushing touchdowns as a team. That included 2 from Trenton Forgay. I am saying that this year ASU is going to have 20 rushing touchdowns, but that's just from the running back position. Skattebo had 9 last year. DeCarlos Brooks had 3 last year. I could see them combined for 12 again. I could see Alton McCaskill dip his toe in there and get 5 touchdowns. I could see Raleek Brown get a couple. Same with Kyson. Same with Jason. 20 touchdowns just from those 6 running backs. I'm all in on that. I would love to be crazier and go higher, but you're already getting more touchdowns than you did a year ago. This is a really good running back room, man. And they are going to basically decide whether or not you're going to be in football games this year. Is if you can run the football effectively this year, this offense is going to be able to stay in games. If they are able to run the football the way that I believe they will be able to, they should have no problem scoring. 20 touchdowns from the running backs alone. It's a lot. I feel pretty good about it. Next one, Alton McCaskill is going to become a household name for the team. Like I said, I have heard nothing but great things about Alton McCaskill. I am excited to see what he can do on the field. He, for all accounts and purposes, sounds like he is 100% dialed in, 100% healthy, and confident on his leg after spending the last couple of years getting back to 100% health and confidence. Now that he's back to that point, we should see some really good things out of Alton McCaskill this year. Would not be surprised, as I said earlier, if he ends up being, I don't know, maybe the best running back on this team by the end of the year. The potential's there, the upside is there, the athleticism is there. Everything comes together for him. He's going to be really good. Last bold prediction, I'm going to say Raleek Brown turns into a home run threat. And what I mean by that is the moment the football touches Raleek Brown's hands, anything can happen. And when you have someone that is just as physically gifted as he is, with the speed, with the agility, just the God-given talent that Raleek Brown has, you love the potential to have a big play go your way at any given moment. It's just a matter of getting him healthy. So once he is at that point, once he is 100% healthy and good to go, putting the ball in his hands is going to be a really good thing for ASU. And it's going to lead to a lot of big plays for the team. This is also a bold prediction that I would expand to special teams, because he's someone that I imagine will be a special teams ace for you once he is 100% healthy. ASU could go a few different directions with their returners this year, with Jordan Tyson, with Melkon Stovall. Raleek Brown is one of the more intriguing guys that they have. Getting him opportunities to put the ball in his hands, special teams, running the football, catching the football, whatever, is going to be huge this year, as long as he is healthy. Sorry to keep saying that over and over, but as of right now, that's the battle we're fighting. Once he's there, look out. This kid is special. He's going to be a home run threat for you this year. Do not be surprised if there are some serious highlight reels by the end of the year from Raleek Brown. There's a great running back room, and I'm saying that you're getting a 1,000-yard runner, you're getting a ton of touchdowns, you're getting some big play weapons. This should be a good year for the running backs. But I want to know what you guys think of the running backs. Am I too high on them? And am I too low on them? Let me know in the comments. You can hit me up on Twitter at Richie Bradshaw 36, excuse me. The podcast at LO_Sun Devils. Wherever you're getting your shows, hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you get an update whenever we post new content. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and making us your first listen. Shout out to my everydayers who are here every day. Guys, I want to again apologize for the lack of content. A lot of health stuff has been going on, but we're figuring it out. Like I said, we will be doing double-header episodes for the next 3 days. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there will be 2 episodes a day. We will be actually moving our game day preview, which we normally do on the day before of a game. So normally Friday, we'll be doing that the day of. So the game day preview will be on game day this week, but we'll be back. We got lots to cover. We got game day stuff to go through. We got to finish up this position breakdown series. So we'll be back again tomorrow twice. I'll see you guys tomorrow twice. Till then, you keep it locked right here on Locked On Sun.